How did my mother find the best of who she was? How did she balance her work and her family and her husband and a business and achieve optimum happiness? The answer to these questions reside in the journey of my mother. I want you to come with me and share her journey a little bit today. And I want to talk about the 5 lessons that my mother taught me for lifelong vitality. As I grew older, I began to look at these lessons as tools because they started me thinking proactively about my life. They opened me up to new and exciting ideas. They reduced resistance, and they inspired me to be brave, resourceful, resilient, and an independent woman. The first lesson for lifelong vitality that my mother taught me was have an attitude of gratitude. This lesson creates abundance and gets rid of the mental gridlock of scarcity. And it starts with a story. 5:31 Friday morning, I was taking a cab to LAX to go to Las Vegas to see my 5 grandchildren, my 2 sons, my mother at the time, my brother was living there. And I was sitting in the back seat of the cab, kind of chilling, gathering my wits, early morning, closed my eyes, opened my eyes, and I noticed the cab driver was staring at me. I also noticed he was a Rastafarian from Jamaica. So I just chilled back, didn't think anything of it, looked back up. He was staring at me. And he finally said, "You know what's wrong with you, Mom? You don't have enough gratitude." Now it's 5:30 in the morning. And gratitude is not on my mind. But I responded to him in my early morning raspy voice, and I said, "Dude, I'm a yoga teacher. I give gratitude every day in every class I teach, and I'm happy as hell." My mother taught me the importance of gratitude in life. She said, we can all wake up every single day in our lives and say, "Thank you for our life. Thank you for our breath." Now, my mother wasn't a religious woman at all, but she knew that gratitude inspired her life. Meister Eckhart, a 13th century mystic, wrote, "If the only prayer you said throughout your whole life was thank you, that would suffice." My mother gave gratitude for many gifts. That husband she loved dearly who made her laugh every day and told her how beautiful she was. For her family, for her talents, her career, her education. Even at 98 years old, when I would visit her, when she was losing the mental and physical capacity, I would walk into her room, and she would be in her home that she loved so much, with all the things around her that she loved. Her eyes would be closed, and she was translucent. Hair done up, nails done. She'd open her eyes and say, "Joni, I'm so lucky. I've had such a wonderful life." Margaret Mead, great anthropologist, wrote something I think is profound. She wrote, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what you can do to make you happy, and then go and do that. Because what the world needs are people who have come alive." My mother did things in her life that made her come alive, that created the magic in her life. And this is the fourth lesson. Find your passion, develop your passion. So you say, well, passion, schmashin', how do I get passion? Is it going to hit me in the head like a bolt of lightning? Where's it coming from? Well, if you have an outpouring of positive energy, if you got an idea in your head that won't go away and it's on one of those loops, and you keep thinking about it and thinking about it, if you're blissful about a person, place, or thing, you've got passion. It is then that an ordinary simple interest is raised to the level of a rarefied passion. And it is then that you know your own destiny. That's what happened to me with yoga. When I told my mother about yoga, she looked at me like I had 5 heads. She had no idea what it was. Not her generation. But she said, that sounds good. That's good. Do what you want to do. Whatever it is, go for it. Always had that support. And then another passion really hit me ahead like a bolt of lightning. In my early 50s, I saw an Argentine tango show. And I knew what I had to do. I told my significant other, who was sitting in the Pantages Theater with me, who brought me to this show, I said to him after the show was over, because I couldn't leave the auditorium, I said, I'm going to dance with every one of those maestros and maestras on that stage. I'm going to take lessons from all of them. And I did. As soon as my second son went off to college, I went off to find a dance studio to study tango. And before the first year was over, I high-footed it to Buenos Aires. And I danced with hundreds of fat, bald men. Who told me how to listen to the music. They said, if you don't know the music, you will never feel the dance in every pore of your body. What is your music? My mother's music was many things. I don't remember her not sewing until she was 96 years old. Talk about a passion. She could still use that machine, use her hands, make the patterns, do the cutting. Not on black anymore, however. Lots of colors. The wardrobe got very colorful. I didn't say anything. Lime green, you know. She was an amazing builder, an amazing designer. She could look at a floor plan and put every piece of furniture in it. She was multi-talented. She was a very good writer also. But my mother knew that it would be no fun going through life without pursuing your passions to the fullest. She knew that passion was the source of our finest moments and the essence of our being. There can be no doubt that this woman, Joan Moran, is my role model, my hero for lifelong vitality.
She was wonderful. And we're all going to try all 5 things.
But we were discussing that many of those 5 or 6 points we're already trying to work on right now, but we'll continue. And I will buy her book afterwards.
Yes, and we decided that the working on forgiveness is our number one thing that we're going to have to work on.
Yeah.